Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. We are back with another alienating edition of IDP. Today we've got some psychedelic rock, some kind of indie pop or jangle pop, as well as some dream pop. Recently, I've mentioned a couple times that I thought there were some new releases where the vinyl was going to be difficult to get or whatever. I feel like I need to not really say that, because sometimes I think you can be deceived by what's shown on Bandcamp or other places. I was actually thinking about when the last American Analog Set album came out. I don't know if I read this or saw it on videos or some combination of both, but right when it came out, people were talking about how it was like you weren't going to be able to get the vinyl. And yet, I don't know how it was. Are we a year after that? I get emails every week saying that that American Analog Set album is available. It's available. Order it on vinyl today. So I think sometimes, I'm not saying it's on purpose, but I think sometimes there's this perceived scarcity that might be used to encourage people to pull the trigger on stuff. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Don't want this to be too long. First up is yet another LP from the psychedelic Swedish collective known as Goat. This one is a self-titled release. It's their 6th studio LP, and it's their 3rd since 2022. So 6th overall since 2012 and 3rd basically in 3 years. So Goat's sound is kind of ever evolving, but always with the psychedelic rock foundation. They're very enigmatic. It's a strong possibility that they, are voodoo worshipers, which is definitely something I can get behind. This album is less folky than last year's release. There's loads of fuzzy guitars, loads of kind of global psychedelic rock influences as usual. I would say possibly more Afrobeat influences or vibes on this one than the last one. Again, it does get a bit jammy, to be sure, but I would say it's not overly jammy. I'd say this is maybe more to the form of their earlier work, maybe just a little bit, that I think might appeal to more people. But again, it's unlikely to win over, I would say, new fans. Definitely is a GOAT record. It's not, while there are changes from album to album, it's not significantly different than, say, 2 albums ago. That said, I do think fans of the band will definitely find a lot here to sink their teeth into. Again, the artist is called Goat, and this release is self-titled. Next up, we have the debut release from a band or group or artist goes by the name Humdrum, and the name of their debut release is called Every Heaven. So Humdrum is basically Lauren Vanderbilt, who was formerly of Star Tropics, is from the Chicago area. That band, Star Tropics, broke up at some point during our most recent, most beloved pandemic. I would say this album blends kind of 80s jangly college rock, new wave pop, and early 90s dream pop. Has big hooks, super catchy songs. It's upbeat, it's fun. Some of this maybe slightly reminded me of the most recent full-length release from the band Massage, just a little bit at times. This is high-level, jangly indie rock. The vocals can definitely be a little bit twee, perhaps, but that's not a problem for me. This is a strong recommendation to the pop kids out there. A solid 10-track, 34-minute debut album. Again, now the artist is called Humdrum, one word, and the debut LP is called Every Heaven, and it's out now on Slumberland Records.
Everything you said a lie, everything you said was bent and broken. I don't know where you go, but here I am, so come and get me. I've been waiting my whole life, so come and get me. A distant warning, I never thought it'd ever be you. Say the words just slip away, and we're there and back again. Will we make it to the end, or will we all beg to be through?
Next up, we're going to New Zealand, which is kind of a theme of this video. This is the second full-length release for the Auckland, New Zealand artist called Jim Nothing, and the name of this album is Grey Eyes, Grey Lynn. So I believe Jim Nothing is really basically just a guy whose real name is James Sullivan, writing and performing, I believe, most of the album. This is lo-fi, buzzy, garagey, jangly indie rock. Has a fair amount of, nods to 90s New Zealand bands like the Bats, the Chills, the Clean, that sort of thing. And many others probably as well, but also just other more obscure 90s indie rock artists as well, kind of influenced on here. Some of the songs have really kind of crunchy, rattling power pop feel, and others are, almost semi-acoustic, jangly pop, but it's all lo-fi and it's chock full of, really great tunes. This is another one where I'd say possibly a lot of people won't vibe with the kind of vocal style that's on here. I mean, it's not like Pavarotti singing. It's, not necessarily on key, but I do dig it. So again, the artist is Jim Nothing. The album is called Grey Eyes, Grey Lynn, like the name Lynn, L-Y-N-N. And it's out now on Melted Ice Cream and Meritorio Records.
Time slips away and it won't come back. How it losses the beach, always keeping track. Time slips away and it won't come back. Like the sand on the beach, how it lost keeps track.
Next up, we have the fifth full-length LP from a New York-based artist named Spirit Night, and the album is titled Time Won't Tell. Spirit Night is a project of a guy named Dylan Balliet. I'm probably saying that name wrong, but I was not familiar with Spirit Night before this. I don't think I heard any at all. And I get the sense that the project has shifted gears stylistically over time. This is buzzy, jangly guitar pop, has really big early Flying Nun vibes, sprinkled in throughout the album. There are synths splashed in and even some tracks go in an almost like new wave direction, others more of a power pop direction. I think this one also has some really great tunes on it. I was pleasantly surprised by how much I ultimately did enjoy it overall. Again, the name of the artist is Spirit Night, and this LP is called Time Won't Tell.
Leave this bed, 'cause I'm afraid that if I do, then lightning's gonna strike and strike me dead. Hold me closer till it's over. Will it ever end? Every time the sun comes up, I'm down on earth again. It's only getting colder here.
We're back to New Zealand again. I don't think when I originally had selected these that I realized it just didn't occur to me how much New Zealand was in here. But anyway, this is another Auckland, New Zealand band called Phoebe Rings, and they've just released their debut EP, which is self-titled, on Carpark Records. This is a dream pop album. The songwriter Crystal Choi grew up in Korea, and she was an actual jazz school trained musician. I think that is something that you definitely hear throughout the songs on this EP. You can also hear the influence of artists or things like Stereolab, video game soundtrack music, and city pop and K-pop, a lot of those kind of vibes with, a dream pop aesthetic. Anyways, worth checking out for dream pop fans out there. The band is called Phoebe Rings. Their debut EP is self-titled, and it clocks in at, it's 6 songs, 23 minutes, which is actually longer than some LPs that have been released here these days.
Dreaming, go back to bed, starting all over again. You says my imagination, but it stays next to me. She wanted to see a girl followed a cat, swam through the springs, trying cause it spirals into an altar, waiting to show her everything that she wanted to see.